The news reaching us is that these days, women are taking matters into their own hands when it comes to finding a partner. With traditional ways of meeting people shifting, places like Home Depot have become unexpected hotspots for connections to spark. Manhunting at Home Depot might seem like the perfect place to find a man, but is it really? Well, according to some, it just might be. With shelves stocked full of hammers, drills, and power saws, there's no shortage of opportunities to strike up a conversation with a potential beau. But not everyone has had success in their search for love at Home Depot. Some have gone into the lumber section with high hopes, only to come up empty-handed. And let's not forget the challenges of actually finding someone to help you out. Sometimes, you've got to track down a store employee just to get a little assistance. This is all part of the struggles of finding a man, especially when you're in your late 20s or early 30s. You try dating apps like Hinge, but it feels like the pool is tainted with disappointment. Bumble and Tinder? Nah, not your scene. And don't even get started on the quality of men at bars. Let's just say it's hit or miss. Then there's the grocery store, where you're more likely to be mistaken for someone in dire need of coffee than a potential date. The reality sinks in. The fear of ending up alone starts to creep in. It's not just a running joke anymore. It's becoming a harsh reality, and it's hitting hard. But here's the thing. Why is dating so hard? Well, part of the problem is unrealistic expectations. We're all guilty of it, searching for perfection in a world that's anything but perfect. We forget that flaws are what make us human, and expecting flawless men is just setting ourselves up for disappointment. And then there's the question that lingers in the air. Where are all the men? It's not like they're hiding in some secret underground bunker. They're out there, but something's changed. Men don't seem to want to be men anymore, or at least, that's what society keeps telling them. Now there's this TikTok trend going around, asking a rather bizarre question. Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear? Surprisingly, a lot of people are choosing the bear. Yeah, you heard that right. They'd rather face off against a grizzly than be alone with a man. But why? Well, for many women, the idea of being alone with a man is scarier than staring down a bear. Why? Because, as one woman put it, a bear doesn't hate people the same way men hate women. It's a chilling realization that the fear of men runs deep for many women. And if they had to choose between the dignity of being mauled by a wild animal and the potential torment at the hands of a man, well, they're opting for the bear. But here's the thing. When push comes to shove, it's often men they turn to for help. Take, for instance, a recent incident where a woman fought off a robber at gunpoint, all while two men stood by, doing nothing. Yeah, you heard that right. They just watched as she risked her life to defend herself. It begs the question, what are men even for? Why are they here if they won't step up when it matters most? Well, let's break it down. One guy was just chilling on the grass, while the other was painting. Yeah, men are here to do whatever they want, it seems. But when it comes to stepping in to protect and support, well, some seem to be falling short. And that's the peak of it. The frustration and disappointment many women feel towards men who fail to live up to expectations when it counts. It's a reminder that while some may choose the safety of a bear over the company of a man, at the end of the day, it's often men they rely on in times of need. So, what are men for? Well, that's a question that seems to have a different answer depending on who you ask. And you see, when women constantly bash men, calling them trash and blaming the patriarchy for all their woes, it's no wonder men start to say, forget it. They feel like they owe women nothing, especially if they're just strangers in need. Now let's take a closer look at that viral video, where a woman fought off a robber while two men stood idly by. Yeah, there were women there too, but why didn't they jump in to help? After all the talk about women supporting women, it seems a bit hypocritical, doesn't it? It's like they want men, whom they've labeled as trash, to come to their rescue. Most of all, if men are so horrible, why are women going all the way to Home Depot to find them? It's a tough pill to swallow, but women have played a significant role in creating the dynamic where men feel disinclined to help or protect them. The term toxic masculinity is talked about a lot nowadays. It seems like the old idea of what it means to be a man isn't cool anymore. This leaves guys feeling lost, not sure how to act in a world where the things they thought were good are now seen as bad. It's like a bunch of guys stuck in Never Never Land, not wanting to grow up and take on the responsibilities that come with being an adult. But can you blame them? Why would guys want to step up and be the providers and protectors if all they get is criticized? And then there's the thing about women saying, "I don't need a man." It's confusing because women want to be independent, but at the same time, they want a guy who acts like the old idea of what a man should be. It's enough to make any guy feel frustrated. So, where did all the guys go? They're still around, just trying to figure out how to fit in with what women want nowadays. It's like they're trying to swim through a sea of mixed messages and unrealistic expectations. In the end, it's like a dance between guys and girls, both trying to find their place in a world that is ever-changing. Maybe if we can find some middle ground, we can find what we're all looking for: friendship, understanding, and maybe even love. Instead of asking where all the guys are, maybe we should think about why some women push them away. These guys didn't disappear. They just took a step back for their own peace of mind. Think about it. The good men out there, the ones who know their worth but have been through their fair share of struggles, they're not out there playing the dating game like it's a sport. No, they're focused on building themselves up and creating their own peace, waiting for a woman who can add to their lives in a meaningful way. These are the highest quality of men, and if you happen to find one, hold on to him tight and don't let go. Because seriously, what happened to the days when men weren't afraid to come up and strike up a conversation in person? It feels like girls run into men all the time, yet they rarely make a move. There are countless reasons why a man might hesitate to approach you, even if he's interested. Maybe he's afraid of making you uncomfortable, intimidated by your beauty, or worried about saying the wrong thing and getting rejected. It could even boil down to low self-esteem, where he doubts his own worthiness of your attention. So, what's a girl to do in this situation? Well, sometimes you gotta throw him a bone, so to speak. Drop subtle hints that you're interested, like smiling and making eye contact. But remember, you shouldn't have to chase after him. As a woman, you're the prize, and if he can't muster the confidence to approach you, then maybe he's not the right fit for you after all. Now let's address the negative energy some women put out when it comes to men. If you constantly believe that all men are manipulators or cheaters, guess what kind of men you'll attract? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, focus on healing from past hurts, bettering yourself, and putting out positive energy into the universe. Sure, many women have been burned by men in the past, but that shouldn't define our outlook on love and relationships. We need to do the inner work, yes, but also believe that there are good men out there who will love us and treat us with the respect and care we deserve. It's all about shifting our mindset and opening ourselves up to the possibility of finding true love. You know, it's time to shift our perspective and stop dwelling on the negative. Instead of focusing on all the ways men have let us down in the past, let's start believing in the possibility of finding a good man who respects and values us. Sure, there are plenty of guys out there who might not be the best fit for us, but we need to trust our instincts and recognize the warning signs early on. It's about knowing when to walk away from a situation that doesn't serve us, even if it means being alone for a while. But here's the thing. It's not just about finding the right man. It's also about being the right woman. Good men deserve good women, women who appreciate them and treat them with the respect they deserve. It's about mutual respect and understanding, not just expecting someone to solve all your problems. And let's not forget the role that social media plays in all of this. It's easy to get caught up in unrealistic standards and expectations, but we need to remember that real love isn't found on a screen. It's found in the little moments, the shared experiences, and the genuine connections we make with others. So, instead of blaming men for all your relationship woes, take responsibility for our own happiness and well-being. Focus on building yourselves up and creating the kind of life we want to live, with or without a partner by our side. Don't forget to check other videos on our playlist. We've got some amazing contents for you. See you in our next video.